Okay, everybody, welcome back. We got another awesome Heinz On Air episode, and we have a very special guest today. Today, my lovely wife, Gaby Bravo, has joined us in the studio. We're going to talk about all things business, relationship, children, working together, all that. What's interesting is that we announced that we were going to be doing this show together, and then we started getting lots of questions. And the good questions, too. I think, it's a lot of things that people go through, a lot of relationships. How do you work together? How does that stay fun, or how does it not become a combative or whatever? So we're going to get into all that. So everyone, please welcome Miss Gaby Bravo. All right.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you for the interview. And that would be very fun. It's my first time doing this in English. I will sometimes switch in English and Spanish if I need it. It's my first time. So I'm sorry, I apologize. My English is
Why
not
don't you
too
just
good.
Try to stick to English?
Perfect. I
will. We are going to have our new AI device translating for us. But anyway, today we'll try to keep it into English. But I know before you've been working together at the law firm now for about a year, correct?
Correct.
Before that, you were at Bank of America.
Correct. That's correct.
And you had a pretty unique experience at Bank of America, right?
Yes, I have a great experience.
Tell us about that.
Well, I was working on the financial side, working more in the investment, and was 4 years the career they have there. Amazing, because I was in the very, very beginning, the first Latina in the building. The first Latina speaking Spanish and English, because my English was not very good at the moment. I cannot even talk too much with the management, with my ex-boss. But I have a hard time. Sometimes when I was walking the building, just the person was cleaning the building. They was telling me, "Hey, Gaby, hola, how are you?" in Spanish. But another people in English, they want to even talk to me.
And you didn't know anything about finance either, did you?
Zero. I don't have zero experience in financial.
And it's my understanding that they brought you in to sort of open up a market into the Hispanic community.
That's correct.
The investments and all. But you knew nothing about investments.
I don't know. I didn't nothing about investment, financial, nothing. I told them, I was straight to say, I know how to work. I help my Latin community. I have a lot of contacts, but I don't know nothing about financial.
Yeah. How'd you learn?
Well, it was very interesting. I remember the first meeting that we have was a meeting. And then people talking about the financial, and they told me the first time, Gaby, maybe for you it's not make sense now, but just try to understand. But I at the moment understand how the businessmen, how the big guys has a lot of money doing the financial, saving money, investment. Yeah. How is the money moving for you? Mm-hmm. It was so much fun. And the moment I was like, oh my gosh, really? I remember the first example they made it, and this lady I remember was going to have some millions, and the plus has some property asset, everything together, and she not lost anything, and she get a lot of money with investments. So that was for me the best scenario that can sell into my Latin community, because in Latin community, it's sad to say, we don't have that experience in our countries. We thinking that we give you the money to the bank, they will steal my money. I was like, no, we don't want that. So you not believe in the investment side. You believe in work hard, keeping under the mattress your money. That's it. But for me, open that world was amazing. I start talking with my friends, start about the players, everybody talking about how great it is. So that's how I learned financial.
Wow. Good.
A little bit. No, it was amazing, a lot, but I learned a lot thanks to my ex-boss, my ex-coworkers. They love it.
Yeah. You had a good team.
Yes.
Yeah, that's important. I know you had a pretty difficult target to meet that first year, right? Because you came in as almost an experiment. They didn't know if you were going to produce or just fall flat on your face, really.
That's right. They told me, you have 6 months to produce. If they are in the 6 months you're not producing, you will not have any more job.
Nah.
So it was very challenging for me in the moment. It was a big, I don't want to say numbers, but it was a big target that I never thinking that can make one person invest money, that money.
Yeah.
Put in some, just waiting for something. I think so in my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, that was hard to somebody invest that amount of money, because we're not thinking, I know, say 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, it's more than 100, maybe more than 200.
More than 200,000. That's what y'all's clientele was having to
correct.
invest.
So I was like, because that's real. You make money and based on how much your money you put in the market. But in the moment, I was like, oh my gosh, I will fail. But never say, and my mind in the first phase say I will fail, but in my back I say no, you can do that. You can do that. So for me, that moment I remember when I was doing my Boston Marathon. Discipline, go for you want whatever you wanted and finish. Don't quit. Don't say I cannot do that. Was hard for me. Well, not walking, like running for 5 hours and raining, freezing. I remember Boston was super freezing, but it was the dream of my life. Was a dream that I had doing the Boston Marathon. So I say, if I did the Boston Marathon, I can do this. So all my life say, I can do that. So I never say not. So that was my good experience in the bank side.
Good. Well done.
2-3 miles before the line, the finish, I was like, I cannot do this. I have a horrible feeling that I will fail right now. I will die and pass away because it was freezing. I don't have any more food. Fire was just running. So I was like going to tell to the police, I'm done. You can take me in ambulance, whatever. I cannot finish. But in my mind, it's like, you can do this just 1 mile, like finish. And then I was have something, chocolate or sugar, and I took it, I drink it. I don't know, remember what exactly. And then give me a little more energy, I finish. So before when you saw they finish the line, like it's the final, goal. You saw the big people cheating you, like, hey, you can do that, go, it's almost there. So you feel like kind of euphoria, excitement about like, oh my gosh, I'm going to finish. When they put me the medal, was like the dream of my life. I cannot believe. Obviously, the next day I cannot walk. I was in the wheelchair, really, because you are fighting with your body and with your mind. Because my body was like, say, you cannot do that more. It's the end. But my mind's like, maybe you can. So what's that fighting together? And plus my heart was like, you can do that. Like, it's hard. I understand the discipline, understand that you can do that, whatever you wanted to do that. You can do this, just you, person, how you can want to make this possible.
Good. Well done. All right, so now you're running this marathon with the law firm, right? And I think the first question here is, how did you meet? And I'll say, just to begin, right now that you've started working with us, we had a vice president of public relations. He resigned. And so we had that hole, and you and I were sort of working together on the side. And you have a great marketing experience and have worked with us in the past, and you kind of stepped in and was like, let me take on this role. I'll help you grow. And certainly that's been a very good decision.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's been going well.
In the beginning, we have some arguments because wanted to work with me. And
that's right.
I was the same thing because I have my job in financial and you have your own thing. So we are working very well, but be married, working together, we didn't know how can work. But Matt was a little like, I don't know, let me see. One day I saw, I say, let me help you. Let me help. I offer my help. Sometimes I regret. I'm kidding. But it's a lot of work. I don't want to say because we're working hard.
No.
It's hours helping the people. Sometimes 3 a.m. I was answering the phone a client.
No.
There was a car accident. You saw with the sales team that we have. So, but there's a very grateful help. It's different. So, but in the beginning, we didn't know how can work this.
No, it was tough. I didn't know. My biggest concern was if we'd be able to separate personal and the business, because I didn't want to come home and talk about business all day. And I knew that if you were going through something difficult at work, then when I got home at 7 or 8, we were going to have to talk about all that. And we do that some, but we keep it, it doesn't get carried away. There's not too much. No. We'll talk about some issues, but, we also can sort of stop our business minds working and then work on the family and have some fun or whatever. Watch Netflix or something.
Yeah, I think so. The best thing for us is the communication.
Yeah.
Sometimes our Spanish English my English not good, your Spanish not good. Sometimes when we're trying to communicate it, sometimes it's not the way that you want to say it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we had arguments just because we don't understand well what we want to say to each other.
No.
But the end is the communication is like, hold on, one moment. You want to say that? No, I want to say that. So for me, I think so is the key, the communication, and then we are getting more creation. We like creating things. We wanted to, let's put something this, let's make an open this, something like that, more than, I have a hard time in the world. You should fight in these people. You know what I mean? More positive than negatives.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you're getting ahead because that's actually another question. That is the question of how do you balance being spouses and working together? So we're going to get back to that. I will tell you, how did you meet? A lot of people have asked this question, how did we meet? The answer is Gaby was selling newspaper ads. That's how we met. Now, that has nothing to do with the relationship or anything, but we'll answer that first question for you, and then we're going to get to the other stuff later on in the podcast.
That's right.
But that's how we met. All righty. Okay, so here's another question. Was Julian, that's our little baby, he's 2 years old right now, was Julian planned or was it a surprise?
Was planned.
Oh, yeah, Julian was definitely planned. Before Gaby and I got serious, we had a meeting, and I would encourage all couples to do this. We had a meeting on goals. And what are our goals in life? Because if I want to go live on the beach somewhere in Hawaii and Gaby wants to start a school for children here in Georgia, then our goals are not the same. So no matter how much we think we love each other, so there's no reason to start that relationship if our goals are that opposed. So we had a meeting and we're like, all right, what are your goals? And certainly children would be a major part of a relationship. That's right. So that's got to be addressed. Because I had a little boy, and I was going to need to, be on board with the idea of more children. So we talked about it, and that was one of the things that came out in our little business meeting there at Red Lobster, I think. At Red Lobster, yeah. I said, you want kids? You said, absolutely. I was like, okay, I figured. Because she didn't have any kids, so that makes sense.
Because Matt said, I don't want any more before. So, but when we have that meeting, more the business meeting was like the plans. But I want to say you support me. Whatever I want to do, you support me.
Yeah.
Before, and then I was in galas, in events, you never stop me.
Nah.
You never go like crazy. You cannot go with that dress. You cannot blah. Was like jealous that in my culture is very popular.
Yeah.
Everybody, I mean, the men's, I don't want to say everybody, but pretty much all men is like, okay, you cannot go, you cannot talk, you cannot talk to him like that. So I'm
a lot of control.
A lot of control.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say thank you because you and me talking, we know each other, I think so, and we know the goals. But the first meeting that we have was how we want to grow. And we had that like in your computer, we have the first, second meeting we did the last year. We need to do this year.
Yeah. No, we have what's called an admin scale, and that comes from the management philosophy that our company follows. But an admin scale goes over the future. What are your goals? How are you going to get there? How are you going to measure it? That sort of thing. And of course, a business has to do that stuff, but a relationship has to do that also because it's kind of a business type thing. You've got finances, you've got things you want to accomplish. You've got ways you've got to go about getting it. You got to work together to get there. So it is sort of a business type of relationship. So, yeah, we have an admin scale. We meet on that. We set our goals out. And when you set them out, you'll find they get accomplished.
That's right.
When we go back to our list, we can check off a lot of those.
We did a lot.
We've probably knocked out the first two lists completely, I would think.
We have 5 lists, I think so. But
yeah,
in the beginning was how we can work together in the marriage side.
And that's important, personal goals, family goals, all that. That way you communicate and there's no surprise. If I want to, one thing that I've done on my own is hunting trips. I love hunting. All right. You don't care about hunting.
No.
So I could say, I want to go hunting and I want to leave for a week. That could upset you.
That's right.
That could be like, why? Why do you want to leave the family, But if it's like, all right, well, I'm going to do this hunting trip, and then in 2 months after that, we'll do a family trip for this, and then you can do your trip. Now we're working together, And it's not a me versus you. It's now we have a family plan that we all can agree on.
It's not selfish.
That's right. It's
We
not
don't
selfish.
have selfish for each other. So if I wanted to go a gala, I wanted to go a party with my friends or something, I say, okay, let's do this. I want to go to Ecuador. They did 2 months with Julia.
Yeah.
So I say, you can go Argentina, I can go Ecuador. So, okay, good.
That's-
Everybody's happy.
It works.
So we make agreements.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds funny, but we make agreements. Even when I went to Tampa 2 weeks ago, I told Matt, we need to sit down and make agreement. You need to sign a document where you say that you are going to take care of Julian in the right way. And he's laughing now, but it was the truth. And he follows the agreement. I say thank you because I feel in peace. I feel that I was going to do my thing correct in Tampa. You know, it's something sometimes we say in the beginning. I need to tell you how I like it this, how we want to do this. The same way you. But you are not like guessing in my mind what I wanted. Sometimes, and I feel I have in my mom, I love my mom, but sometimes she want my dad guessing what she wanted. I don't know if it made sense. So she wants that dessert. And she was like, a point that make like indirects, like I kind of want that. My dad was like, la, 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 la. So my mom get angry and upset on that. And it's very Latin, Hispanic culture. They want to read the mind.
Yeah.
So with you, we're like, I don't want to guessing. I don't want to put in your spot that you're guessing me or vice versa. I want to say, okay, I wanted this, how we can help.
Yeah.
Or how we can work together. So that was the agreement that you signed up, and I was very happy and proud of you.
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's actually a good example because you wanted something there. I had said, well, I'll watch the baby. And you said, no, I don't, for whatever reason, that was not enough. So I was like, well, what could make you feel comfortable? Rather than me getting angry with you saying, well, why don't you trust me? Or why don't you do this? I said, what could make you feel better? And you actually wrote down the things, the actions. See, that's just good communication though. You know,
Yes.
You weren't wrong. I didn't feel I was wrong, but we had a little bit of a different opinion. And so you said, well, I would like you to read with him each night. I usually do that, but that's one thing you wanted to make sure of. You wanted this. And there were about 7 things. And if I was going to do those, then you were comfortable and we both were happy. So you communicated to me. I said, okay. And it worked out.
Work out.
That was
follow up.
That's right. So it there, I think a lot of other couples could have been emotional, could have been offended.
Correct.
Well, why don't you want to do that? Or why are you so angry about it? Like, that doesn't handle anything. Like, if you ask, okay, well, how could we work together? And 2 rational people just solve it.
It's the same, the business.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
when we had different opinions, I am a marketing person. I want to spend some money in something.
Yeah.
Sometimes Matt was like, no, maybe blah. So sometimes we had kind of agreements. Okay, Matt, let's try that and we try your thing, whatever you wanted. So let's see how it works better. So it's the same, business and family. We kind of put everything in family, where in business we're doing the same thing. So the point, another point is the people was asking us, what is the key? How I handle my staff and your staff too. It's the same thing, communication. Because, like I have my own company, I have entrepreneur, I have my own marketing company, and we have Heinz Law and SOS. So how we handle everything? We delegate people and we communicate. Matt, if I'm going to work with you, I need somebody help me, blah, blah, in positions. And you say, okay, let's find somebody to help you. The same at home. Matt, I need a coaching to the nutrition because Matt loves frozen food for kids and I like it more natural.
Not for kids, for Matt. I'm much more simple with food, yes.
You're more simple in food, but my culture is making the food for your family, for you. And
is it now?
Right there.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
This is culture. So
Right.
I find coach,
Stayed
I
in
find
Ecuador.
nutritional. They help me because Matt say, put in time out the baby when he was 9 months, 1 year. That was right?
Well, 6 and months and 1 year is a big difference. But yeah, somewhere in there.
You pump, let it cry. So I cannot handle. Was my first child. I cannot handle that. So what I hiring somebody to help both and control that situation. I think so. You cannot do something together with your spouse, find somebody, hiring somebody, find somebody helping, like, I don't know, one say psychology, person that can meet together, put a middle side, or find in Google, ChatGPT, how we can work in these situations. It's easy now, finding these things.
Yeah. Well, that started because I think a lot of couples will understand this. The question was Julian planned or was it a surprise? Now, yeah, he was definitely planned, but that was my second child, Gabby's first. I was 44, whatever I was. That's pretty old. I was set in my ways, and it was difficult for me. It was difficult for me. I did not understand the change that was about to take place in my life.
He has a postpartum depression.
I had postpartum depression.
That's true.
Whatever the hell the dad gets, I had it. I had coming home depression. I was going to have to stay up for another 8 hours with a crying baby. Whatever that freaking diagnosis is, I had it. Because I had my routine. I go to the church sometimes, church Scientology for course at night, or I go work out, or me and my other son have soccer practice, whatever. These routines I like, and a lot of that was stopping, or I want to just leave on the weekend, go hunting, or whatever. All that stopped. So that was tough for me.
Yeah, I remember one time we were talking, I was crying because Matt don't want to see the baby. He was avoiding the baby.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to cry because I was.
Yeah, you were ready to punch me that night.
Yes, I wanted, because it was hard for me. It's my first son. I was happy. My mom was helping a lot.
She did save us.
And then Matt was like, kind of handle the baby. You can blah. So
I didn't say that, but that was my mood. Yeah.
That was our argument. But we find a solution. What was the solution? That we talk on the night because I was crying. I was very sad. I was telling Matt, you don't like the baby. You don't love the baby. What is wrong? I want to kill you in the moment.
Yeah.
And you were like, okay, I need to admit, I need to say that I'm not happy right now. So, but we talk.
We did.
And then we find the solution to find a nanny for night.
Yeah.
So that was our
We were
solution.
lucky there. We were able to do that. That did help us. But the other solutions, grandparents are usually the solution.
For us, that was the solution because we're working both together.
Yeah.
Your family is
your mom was in
here.
Ecuador, mine's in South Carolina.
Correct.
Yeah.
For us, I said when the people has family here together, it's easy and say you are lucky because I'm lucky because she's traveling every 2 or 3 months, but at the moment she was in Ecuador and your family is not here.
Yeah.
So we need to find somebody else to help. But we find the solution. The point is that we find the solution. We not stay in the mistakes or we stay in the sadness, mad, we don't want to see the baby. We find the solution.
No, that's right.
And then, but we find.
Yeah. All right, there's another question. Does Julian, our baby, Cito, just for the English audience, that is added on to the end of lots of Spanish words to make it like young and sweet, right? Ito.
It's very like sweetness kind.
Sweetness kind. Just instead of Julian, the baby's name, it's Juliancito. Does Juliancito want a sister or brother? Unfortunately, Julian would not have. He'd get vetoed in this one because we're closed.
And the hour admin scale, the first meeting we have, we put just one child.
One child.
And Matt say, I have my admin scale is here. I don't want any more.
I think you were considering, and maybe a few months ago,
yes,
another one.
I was considering has another baby. I was telling maybe girl, maybe. But when the baby gets sick, is when the mama get more worried.
Yeah.
It was my first child. Matt he's fine, no worry. When 144.2, it's fine. I was worried. So then I don't want another. Like, and then bad nights, he's wake up in the night. We need to wake up. So I say no more.
Yeah, I don't think I could start over again. That would be tough. But that's true. Most parents can understand that. The first baby is worrisome. The second one, you're relaxed. So this is my second, and I didn't worry about the little bit of fever. Okay. All right, why don't we jump into this? No, we touched on this. What do you do to balance being spouses and working together? We've talked about that. That's tough because that's a hit or miss. Either people are miserable working together and they actually look forward to the job so they can have a break from each other. I think that's why COVID killed a bunch of relationships because everybody's stuck together. Or you can communicate and know how to talk to each other and make it all go right. You and I are lucky there. We work well together, and we have a great time at the house and on the weekends. We don't really need breaks, unfortunately.
Our nannies, they say, I wanted that my family knows you, or my friends. They will say you're a crazy family in good way, crazy in good way.
Yeah.
Because everything is something going on in our home in good way.
Yeah.
Again, so we're fun, we're talking, we're laughing. We'll go outside to eating something. Always is something in our home. It's not never like be like monotony. I don't think so. We have monotony.
No, I don't either. No. I mean, we allow each other to have some space. Mm-hmm. You allow me to do my thing sometimes. You go out with your friends sometimes. We don't do a lot of that. No. But there's still that freedom. There's not this trapped feeling. We're not in trouble if we do something like that. But as like you said earlier, the main thing is communication. That sounds too simple to be the solution, but that is it. Being honest. Just straight up saying, you mentioned jealousy earlier.
Correct.
I've been jealous. In the beginning, I got jealous sometimes, and I would say, I just feel jealous. I don't know why, but blah, blah. But I didn't get angry and be silent. I would talk, and you were mature enough to just talk with me, and we'd handle it, and it was good. But that can become jealousy, or not just jealousy, but any sort of emotion can become a wedge and let people start drifting apart if you don't just talk about it.
Correct.
We could. So that handled it. And, we hadn't had that issue in years, but it did happen. And
in the beginning, beginning, we are kind of jealous because I was thinking that you want to play with me.
Nah.
I was more young, a little bit more than you. I was thinking that
just a little bit. About 9 years?
9 years, but I was thinking that you want to play with me.
Yeah.
And you was thinking that was party girl, you want to have fun with you.
Yeah.
So I think so in the moment, we say we need to talk because that is no, I'm going to do something serious, the same. So the jealous, I think so was in the beginning, but very quick. We don't have it for months, for years.
No, that was that's just an example. That's right. Mm-hmm. But it's just one of those times talking. You mentioned the language barrier because there's a lot of Hispanic American couples.
Correct.
And we would have a serious conversation, and at the end, you could tell it wasn't done. there was still that mental energy going on. We weren't at a good stopping point.
Correct.
And the problem was we were saying two different things. Because you were communicating in Spanish, one thing, and I thought I was understanding it, and I was responding how I thought, but we were off. So we had to sort of reverse, and then it cleared. Then it was done.
Because we're honest. We're not hiding nothing each other. If I go to buy a t-shirt or something, I was like, Matt, you like it? And they say, Matt, we know sometimes in the Latin community, we saw the mama or the spouse go to buy something and hiding from the house.
That's right.
And for the family. No,
That's
not.
How it starts. There's no reason. You should be able to trust the person. If you can't trust them, there's something wrong. It's probably not wrong with them. It's probably wrong with you. If you feel the need to hide the money or keep that secret account, there's something wrong.
Yeah, we don't have any secrets.
We don't.
We have separate accounts.
We do.
We have, our own account together, but we don't have secrets. Everything. I know everything.
Yeah.
So it's a good way they start the communication because if I hiding something, even the communication we talk is something there. Something kind of, I cannot trust these people. I cannot do these people. So, but we are clean, lucky. We're clean.
Yeah. You can, even though you communicate, it doesn't mean you have to agree to everything. Let's say I had, I don't know, $1 million sitting in some savings account. Wow. Yeah, I wish. And then I told you, and you're like, well, I want half. And it doesn't have to be nasty. Like, look, I have this there, but I want to save that for this. I'm not touching it. You could be in communication, but still have it your way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to mean you have to sacrifice something that you believe in. I don't know. It's just communication.
But I think so our argument, not until so fight. We don't fight.
No. We've had a few where you've been like, look, not right now. I need a minute.
That's right.
And that makes sense. There's nothing wrong with that. That's my advice to anybody. If you're heated and you're emotional, you should not solve the problem. Because if you're angry, you're not going to solve anything in the emotional tone of anger. We can get more about that later, but to trust me on this, if you are upset, whatever decision you make is going to be a bad decision.
Yeah, sometimes
that's how the breakup or something happens. Probably when they don't even mean it. It's just bleh. Well, then fine, then I'm done. Okay, you didn't mean that. If you'd have chilled out and come back later. Now we've never gotten to that point, but you've said before, all right, right now, I don't want to talk about it. we'll come back in a couple hours tomorrow morning. And it's cool.
Oh,
We do that.
No,
and it's
tomorrow,
done.
not the next morning. Like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Matt is pushing me sometimes. He say, talk now. I was like, no, I don't want to talk now. Like, give me a space. So I'm walking, and when they come back, 5 minutes, you want to talk? I was like, not yet. Give me 5 minutes more.
Yeah.
So he's a big pushing to talk because of communication. But I wanted to, in my mind, keeping clean, calm down, relax, and then talk. When you talk, I saw that when they was looking before the problem big. And when they were talking, the problem is small.
Yeah.
Like,
That's right.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I was upset for that, or you the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think so. The best advice: talk, even when the problem is big. Talk, and you can see it's getting small every time, more small. So that helping me with you talking. But we don't have again arguments too much. Really, like if something is just with Julian, the education, something culture again.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to keep the baby warming a lot, clothes, and Matt he wants just one clothes. So something like that.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what you communicate about. Like, you might want me to get in bed by 11:30, and it might, what is it? I'm like, I don't know why you're telling me that it's time to go to bed. I just want to stay up or something. But that sounds so simple, but it can kind of be, that's a stupid example, but it could be anything. The point is, no matter what the thought is, communicate it to the other person and just talk about it. When you ask me, why was I late, or it bothered me and you just talk about it, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want to circle back to this one. How did the relationship start?
Well,
You want to take that? You want me to take that?
Half. What do you think? I will start doing I was working in.
Okay.
You wanted to say start with the Heinz or start after the I leave Heinz? Because really, I know Matt before like 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
I was working for radio station, TV station, and newspaper. And there was one day come to his office to selling a newspaper. And then the next day I get hiring because they like the energy. I don't know. I was proposal something different. And then Maria, I remember, she hired me. And then we know each other. And the moment I was married.
Yeah.
I had my first marriage. You had your marriage too. So we're good at the moment. So, and after I left the company, I was working Bank of America.
Yep.
And I had my fiance at the moment.
So you were divorced that time and you met somebody in Ecuador?
Yeah, I was because I get divorced and then in Ecuador I get somebody else.
Yep. Okay.
And you was, I don't know, your life at the moment.
Yeah, I had my stuff going on too, so I had separated at the time. Yeah.
So we separated at the moment. So I didn't know that Matt was doing that. He didn't know about my stuff too. And so we met in Christmas party.
That's right. Yep. So I don't remember how many years after you left, but yeah, we met at a Christmas party or saw each other again at a Christmas party, danced that night.
We were dancing.
And then let's grab some coffee or something, or hot tea.
He was telling me, let's go to grab a hot tea. I was like, because my ex-fiance, he was calling me, when the U.S. told me, I was just few days.
He was trying to still get the relationship.
Yeah.
Was he? I didn't know that.
Yeah. One of the days before they were start meeting the Christmas party, I was like, oh my God, what's happening? So I literally, I don't want to talk to him anymore. So I was like, grab a tea with Matt. Like, really? He texted me one Sunday, I remember, after the Christmas party and say, you want to grab a tea? Thank you for coming to the Christmas party. I was like, oh my God, what's happening here? Somebody can tell me. I was like, oh my gosh, with Canelo, my dog in my apartment. I was like, so, and the Tuesday, things we grab some teas and start.
Yeah. Then we delivered the Christmas gifts to the families and all.
We went to the Gizmas to help people. And we love it. I love it to help people, really. It was 15 families that we went to buy toys, food for them. And they were talking. And then, I don't know.
Yep, that's right. Up in Gainesville. There we go. Rest is history.
The rest is Juliancito's here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Good.
We respond the question?
I think so. Let's see. Just some of the other stuff. Favorite food, favorite color.
Where's my favorite food?
I would say pollo.
Okay. That's good enough.
We did cheat because we had that one prepared for. This is a good example, folks. She says, "What's my favorite food?" And then when she tells me, she says, "Well, it's actually just a food in Ecuador that they don't have here." So I couldn't have known the answer. There you go. All right. So anyway, well, listen, Miss Bravo, thank you very much for your time and for joining us today. It's been a lovely show.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for listening me again. And
of course.
Thank you for listening your producer.
That's right. Of course. Communication. I'm trying to honor that.
Yeah, but I think it's a good advice that people was asking how we balance again, how we get together. Everything is like the communication has a lot of love for your spouse. And we saw each other things. For example, Gaby, you're losing too much weight or you are getting too much weight. Be careful. Let's handle. Matt, be careful. So we told each other the things that sometimes we not like listen, but we need to tell. I need to tell Matt, that is not going too good. And he say me the same thing. So small things looks like big is make the change a lot. Is my advice to people, and delegated people, they want to get stuff for. We have a lot of things going on in our life. Delegate it and trust each other.
Yeah, I think one last little bit. We have, part of a relationship is there's the family, there's different aspects of it, but there's also this creation dynamic, this thing to build things. And when you can do that together, if the husband's over here doing his thing and the wife's over here doing her thing, well, that's all right. But when you're doing something and creating something together, that's beautiful. And that can really join and strengthen a relationship more. And that's what you and I do so well.
And we fun.
Communicate, we have fun, and we have games that we play together in life versus we have separate lives and we kind of come together sometimes. We kind of have one complete life that we're living together. Yeah, so it works out well. Right. It works well.
Thank you for having me in your podcast.
Of course. Thanks again for being here, baby. All right. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. It's been Hines on Air. Look, if you're enjoying these podcasts, please like, follow us, and subscribe. And if you've missed any of the previous podcasts, I'm telling you, you're missing some good information from some terrific people. I mean, great stories. Taylor, the film producer, was here not too long ago. If you haven't heard his podcast, they're all good, but this one story stuck out. Taylor was trying to get his business going, trying to promote his movie. He's broke. He's going around, he's knocking on strangers' doors, and he meets this guy he's never met in his life, gets a $150,000 check from that guy, and that's how he starts his whole successful business. But, most people wouldn't even believe things like that are possible until they've happened to other people. So we hope to give you a little inspiration, a little guidance, whatever you can get from the podcast. But anyway, like us, follow us, and subscribe, and join us for our next Hines on Air podcast. See you soon.